Well, hey there, and welcome to Home Hangout number 3. Good to see you. I hope your week has been good. Yes, it is a warm one. No doubt it is warm where you are. It's hot. So, we are going to go over some games today. So, this is our weekly show where we check out some of the new games to hit the App Store, see what they're all about, see what's being released, see what trends are all happening, where we can learn, and play through a few games, take them for a bit of a test drive, see what we can see exactly what they are doing that is working well, and why we should be trying to emulate some of what they're doing, and where we can pick up some tips and tricks. So welcome. If you're here, do say hello in the chat. If you haven't done so already, do go and check us out over on the Discord. The link is in the description, as are all the games that you will see us covering today. So if you want to play along with us, the links are in the description. And of course, if you're looking for a publisher, come and check out homagames.com and come and work with us to see if we can publish your game. So without further delay, let's jump in over and see what games we've got lined up today. And we're going to go through these. We're just going to have a look at their store listing and have a look at what they've got on their screenshots and their icon and all that good stuff. So quite a lot of games to go through. Since the Game Jam was launched, we are a little bit behind in terms of me keeping a breadth of all the new games that have been released over the last few weeks. So we're doing a bit of a catch up here. What is up, Yoan? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, sir. So yeah, we've got a load of games to go through today. We're just going to have a quick look at some, and I've got a couple pre-installed to play through today, and a wide mix of stuff. So let's jump straight into things right now, and let's have a look at Airport Master from Pantheon. So Idle Arcade are pretty much dominating all the releases in terms of the bigger publishers right now. We've spoken about this plenty of times because it is the sort of trend of the App Store right now. The market's loving them, and they're open for tons of different themes and stuff that we can do. And obviously this one here is an airport one that looks real fun. One thing we want to check out as well, and not to forget, in the terms of quality that's coming out now, we're seeing a huge jump from even 12 months ago, really. So when we're doing our prototypes and we're looking to emulate some of these games and maybe get a publishing deal, you've got to pay attention to the quality of the games that are coming out here, in terms of, does your game look as good as any of the games that are in the big studios portfolios? Because that's the best way to know you're on track, is that does your game look like one of the games that one of these big publishers will publish? And if it doesn't, then you need to try and identify exactly where you're falling down, and try and pick up the game a little bit. So interesting screenshots here. The video does most of the selling, I'd say. But this is kind of an interesting one. Let's have a look at those video again. So it looks like this is real fun here. I like the way that you throw the little men into the plane and they wobble about a bit. Always good to catch a smile when you can. But overall, pretty standard arcade idle sort of thing, but well worth checking that out. That is, I believe, #1 in the UK iPad today. So that's Airport Master from Pantheon. Like I said, all these links are down below in that description, and if you are catching on the replay, there will also be timestamps to the games we play here for your pleasure. So let's have a look at Sticky Darts here from Supersonic. Now there's a couple of things I want to mention about this one. Looking at the screenshot, we're going to play this one today. I've never played it so far. The screenshots aren't brilliant here. I think that's a better first screenshot for me, or a hybrid of that one. That's kind of useless, and that's a better screenshot. So you kind of get the idea from this screenshot and this screenshot. For me, it tells a little bit more of the story. But what I want to do before we go any further is just click on this. So this dart game is basically being really popular on TikTok right now, under Pop Dart. So you can certainly do a search for this, but you can see some of these videos here are amassing such a huge amount of views on TikTok. A lot of these are coming from this Pop Darts game account. Well, I'm guessing they sell the actual like physical product, but you can see the game here is super fun. Can I get this a bit bigger? There we go. Let's do that. There we go. So we'll just let that play again. So you get the idea. So you put down this little marker, and it's almost like the Skittles or the balls or whatever. You got to get closest to the pin as you can. But it's super fun, and there's a ton of videos. So that one there's had 16 million views, 23 million views for this next one. 3, 6.5, 38 million views, this one here. So obviously some take and some don't more than others, but you can see why, looking at the TikTok type videos where they got a huge amount of views, it's a really good idea. So whenever you see any trends like this, it's always worth seeing if you can tap into that. But yeah, 6 million, 5.3, 14, nearly 15. And that's just a real, I did a quick search on TikTok here for pop darts, and these are the ones that came up. Let's go to videos real quick. See if there's any change here. Oh, there's different ones here. But you can see they've all got a huge amount of views, so you know the appetite is there and people are liking them. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But Supersonic has released sticky darts, and no doubt they're tapping into this a little bit. But yeah, so this should be quite fun. I like the idea of controlling the sticky darts like this. It'd be interesting to see what the controls are, so we're going to check that out. But maybe there's another way that we could control the game that might even be a little bit more fun. Next up is this closet organizer from, it's under Triple Pulse on Google Play. It's doing exceptionally well on Google Play right now, this one. It's under this weird Mingzhu developer here on the iOS store. But this has got a very much of a Rollic feel of Fill the Fridge, but they've just done, obviously, the closet being like hang the clothes up, which I think is a really nice take on it. What is up, Aztec Games? Good to see you here. So yeah, I think this one's real fun. It's a really good idea, and it's possible, you know, we've got fill the fridge, like I said, but they've done it with the clothes. Is there something else you could do? Could you do fill the lorry, or I don't know, fill the shelves in the supermarket? I'm not sure. A lot of these, you know, there's no new ideas. They might have already been done, but it's always worth, when we're going through these, looking at what's doing well in the charts. Can we make something similar to a different theme that we know the appetite is there and the market is liking? Jilly says, love the sorting type of game. Yeah. So it does tie into this puzzle type element of it. Very satisfying. What is up, Tom? Good to see you here. Yeah, so there's a load of these sort of themes have got a ton of different sort of, you can just reskin these to your heart's content. And yeah, obviously Fill the Fridge has been a top 10 game for many weeks now on the App Store, probably months at this point. But yeah, this one is doing especially well right now. So that was worth a mention. Closet Organizer from Mingzhu or Triple Pulse on Google Play. Now this one here from One Button SARL is a Mr. Bullet. Is actually, if we scroll down here, maybe we'll see it underneath. Let me see if they've got the original one here. I'm just going to quickly see if we can see Mr. Bullet. I think that went over to Lion actually, but this is a 3D version of their 2D game of the same name. A very old game, but they've just rebooted it and made it 3D. It kind of looks 2.5D to me. Screenshots are real nice. We're probably going to take a look at this one today as well, just to see what they've done. But again, a puzzler type game where you point, typically you point the crosshair of a gun and try and shoot the baddies in the level. So very much like this one, you'll see he'd point the gun and try and shoot them all in one hit. So this is kind of neat. It's a very unusual one, which I've chosen this one today because it is kind of a 2D game, but there is still kind of space for it. So we might check that one out today, or we pretty much will. The icon's real nice on that one. Base Defense from Rollic, another arcade idol, but I really fancy this one. So what is great, I mean, I'm kind of a big fan of the arcade idol anyway, but what I really like about this one is that it looks really action-packed, and there's, by building these guns up and trying to defend against the hordes here, it gives that sense of anxiety and tenseness about it, which I really like. I'm not sure what's our safe zone, so I haven't played any of these games, but we're definitely going to check this one out. But that one looks like a huge amount of fun to me. I really like the idea. I think it's a really great take on the arcade idol to build a little bit more tension in it. If you played the Homa games, our raft game is similar with all the people trying to attack you, but they've taken it to the next level here. So I really like it. Contrast is super great. You can see exactly what's going on. So we'll see. So Jilly just says the review said it's a little juddery. Is that right? All right. Well, we'll find out in a minute. When did that come out? Let's have a quick look here. So first released a month ago, so it's still very early here. And yeah, it's had a couple of bug fixes, but an early release there. But that one's worth checking out, I would say. This one is super interesting. So this is Arcade Hole from Rollic, and anyone who's familiar with Hole.io from Voodoo, it's literally the same game, but it's an arcade idol version of Hole.io, which is a fake multiplayer sort of contest game. So this is really, really interesting, where they've taken the old mechanic of the IO soloing up the environment, taken from, I think it was Donut County was the original sort of game for that Hole.io. Huge Apple feature, Donut County. It basically did the same thing with the hole swallowed up the items on the screen. But this is they've mixed in an arcade idol version here where you can upgrade the hole. Do we see anything on? You can basically just see it down the bottom there with the upgrade. We had a real quick go of this earlier. It's kind of neat. The upgrades feel super juicy. It's a very interesting title indeed. Contrast is super bright and high, which is great. We're always looking for. Levels look nice. But yeah, this is a very interesting one. So that again, they've taken the Hole.io mechanic and they've turned it into an arcade idol, which I think is like, we're going to see Arcade Idol 2.0 very soon, where the typical run around and upgrade stuff is a little bit lackluster. It's moved on a fair amount now. It's almost a year old, the genre. And we're seeing different takes on it now, which I think is really great. So that was Arcade Hole from Rollic. Dig Deep from Crazy Labs. Now, Crazy Labs don't feature very much on our streams, only because they don't release that many games in typically in terms of the quantity that we see a lot of other people do. But again, another arcade idol type game here, so you can just see how much is coming out. And these are the newest releases for the most part of a lot of these publishers. This one looks really neat. Looks really well. 3 screenshots, is it for real? Okay. I think the screenshots were a bit poor on this, to be honest. Can't really know what you got to do, but clearly you got to dig deeper, hence the name. And the deeper you get, maybe you uncover gold and stuff. You obviously dig in, which is kind of neat. But yeah, it looks really nicely built. Again, really bright. Look at the contrast of the character against the brown there. The yellow on the brown really pops it out. But yeah, so these are all worth checking out. And a couple more I'm just going to cover real quick before we start playing some games. 3 from Kowali that have escaped me, but I thought we might as well just have a quick look at them. So this one, if I know I chatted to someone in the Game Jam who did a very similar style game to this. It looks almost identical, if I'm honest. And this is a really good example of how they really added tons of juice to this sort of format. But this one looks really nice. I haven't really seen this doing so much moves, but a really nice version of the old Tiny Wings mechanic in terms of the original mechanic. And then it was June from Voodoo who rebooted it then, and a 3D version from both Lion and from Line did the car one, and Voodoo did waves as well that used this press and hold mechanic. So up in the air, let go, press to flow down. We actually played a game last week that used the same mechanic that I was totally rubbish at. And that was something Rails, I forget. Yusuf, is Rising High Academy available for new users? Where will your new journey plan? Okay, so the Rising High Academy is now Homa Academy, as you're watching the stream now, and we are very much open. You just need to go and create yourself an account over on homagames.com, and you can come in and you can get all the stuff that we have going on there for you. And we're in the process of totally rebuilding the whole platform, so I encourage anyone who wants to publish a game and get some training along the way and some private live streams and also all sorts of good things, some tools and all the rest of it. Go over to homagames.com and you will find us over there now, as well as go and join over on the Discord if you've got any questions, and we'll help you out there. So I hope that was helpful. The Rising High Academy is now Home Academy, hence the acquisition earlier or late last year, early this year, really. All right, so that was Skate Rush from Koali. Perfect Coffee again is another simulation type game from the Koalis, but this looks super well built, which is why I wanted to include it. I wasn't going to because it's quite old, but the quality of this one looks absolutely gorgeous to me. I love the transparency on these cups. Everything looks really nice. So again, like I mentioned right at the start, just take a note of some of the quality that's coming out from these studios. Really, really exceptional. You know, the level of the bar has been raised a considerable amount. But this one looks really nice, so I'm definitely going to be checking this one out. It looks like there's a ton of content in there. It looks like a lot of fun to me. So this is more of like a Crazy Labs type game who are really into the simulation and these sort of things. But yeah, pretty nice. And Fitness Club. Another Koali one, which again is another arcade idol. So, like I said, they are awash throughout all the big releases. And this looks really fun. Actually, we were talking last week, has someone done a fitness club, and it just... and there you go. Like I said, there's no new ideas here. But it looks like this one's got a ton of little mini games in it, which I really like. I think that's kind of neat. We saw there, we played a video one more time in just a sec. Seems like a long video. There we go. Let's do it again. So we see here, there's a few little mini games that are popping up. We know this move the hands sort of thing. There's a few games out there. What is up, Simon? Great to see you on the stream here. Thanks for joining with us today. Super appreciate that. And yeah, hope you're doing well. How's that? How's it all going for you? I hope you're doing well there. I love some of your games, dude. So yeah, again, anything can be basically converted into these arcade idol games. They're super interesting to me. They're normally a little fun. First 10 minutes or so, super grindy, but the upgrading is really powerful, and it makes a lot of sense to gamify a lot of real world sort of environments like this gym. We had camping last week, which was really nice. Again, the quality of that was exceptional. But yeah, so think about if you're looking at building one of these types of games, and of course, once you've got the main sort of code base in, you can kind of reskin your own games and try different themes out, which I think is a really powerful way of getting your output and reusing your code and stuff, right? Do jelly-based mechanics perform better on the CPI side? Well, that's a very good question. I'm not sure. Do they perform better? It depends what you mean by better. But yeah, we've seen a lot of jelly games that's tapping into the AMSR type stuff, really juicy and satisfying. But yeah, I mean, a really nice code with some jelly mechanics in it can jelly based mechanics. Yeah, mate. Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult question to answer. Like everything, there's obviously not a one size fits all answer for this sort of stuff. But yeah, jelly can work very, very well, as long as it's relevant to what you're doing. So I know I can't. It wasn't a perfect answer, but the truth of the matter is, just try it out, because that's the only test. Test it. Going very well. Working on Secret's one of my most successful games right now. That is fantastic to hear. Whatever happened to Agent Zero? God damn it! I love the first version that you did of that. That was so cool. Excuse me. And the last art is one from Supersonic, which guess what is another arcade idol type game. Please, there we go. No video on this one. Excuse me. So this one's an arcade idol, but again they've mixed up a mechanic here. So what you do, you control your boat with a virtual joystick, as you do with all these arcade idols, but you actually have to draw a line around these fish and go back in on yourself, kind of like Snake.io. And once you close the circle and you trap anything, you circle the fish to trap them, and then you collect them in the boat and then drop them off at these various shops at the top here and upgrade. But real fun. Nice looking build. Check out the palette again and the quality of it. Doesn't have to be elaborate, fancy graphics, but just really nicely built. Everything looks like it works and should be there. Nice UI by the looks of things. But yeah, I played this one. I have it on my phone right now. I decided not to play it today because I don't normally like to play them before, but I had to have a go at this one because I was so curious, and it's okay. It's pretty good. I upgraded. You can see the red fish on the right of the boat and the darker fish on the left. And I actually I got to that stage, and yeah, it was kind of good fun. Real different way of collecting stuff. Yeah, that's right. So we're seeing, this is why what I thought was interesting with both this one here and what was it? What was it? Yeah, the fitness club, introducing the different mechanics within that. And of course, the one I actually meant was this one here, where they're introducing these different mechanics, but kind of setting it in the arcade idol meta, which I think is super clever. And I think the opportunity is rife for basically exploring some of these opportunities. What are some of the older games that we see right now? Could you take Helix Jump and do an arcade idol on that? Could you have loads of different helixes in some sort of world where I don't know, right? But this is the way to think about how can you fuse an old game with a new game system rather than a mechanic for the arcade idol, more game design model. Could you do that where that Aquapark.io, for instance, was is still a super popular sort of hyper casual game? Is there something you can do with that? And just try and give yourself that head start where you build upon something that is successful already. So there you go. That's the sort of roundup of these ones today. Arise, hello. You are not too late. You are just about in time to go through some of the games we're going to play today. And like I said, I've downloaded the Mr. Bullet, Sticky Darts, and Base Defense. So we're just going to get in and start playing. And I am going to put ourselves on airplane mode. So we hopefully don't get any adverts. Sometimes we need to turn it back on to make the games work. But just to preface, I haven't played any of these before today. So it's the first time that I'm downloading them. We've got airplane mode on. So we're not looking at the monetization for this part. And we're just going to see what is out there. What do they play like and what can we learn? We'll look at the onboarding and all that kind of stuff. Just hanging out, playing some games today. So let's load it up. Arcade idle games are really nice, but for a small studio, yes. I think that's a really important point there, Tom. It is. I know. They are bigger projects, but I think as we move further into 2022, these 10 prototypes a month or whatever is just not the way we're going. We want to see better quality games that take a little bit longer, and I think we'll see some publishers definitely kind of realizing this, and just throwing anything and hoping it sticks is a little bit 2021 at this point. So yes, they are really out of scope, but it might be something you could chip away on at the side, if you know what I mean, more of a passion project. I don't know. You have to figure it out, Tom, but I hear you. They're big old projects, but that's kind of what I was saying before a little bit. Like if you do it, you can reuse a lot of the code. So even though it takes a huge amount of time to develop it from the ground up, once you've done that, you know, maybe you can get 3 or 4 versions out of it, sort of thing. Well, something about arcade puzzle games? You're going to have to rephrase that a little bit, and let's get into Mr. Bullet. So I'm just going to continue and all the rest of it and see what we got. Hopefully this is going to let us go without the ads. It doesn't look like it's going to straight away. Oh, maybe. Okay, that's pretty cool. Ooh. What a cool way to start a game, huh? So, nice camera angle moving down there. So cheap to do, but that really set the scene up. So I super like that. That was great. So, drag to aim and shoot to kill all the enemies. Understood. So, nice onboarding. Very simple. I don't quite agree with Tom. Junior team can also make Arcade Idle in at least 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you guys can find it out between yourselves. They are not your typical runner that you can knock up relatively fast. So, you know, maybe look at your workflow a little bit. Maybe if it's out of scope, then you know, concentrate on something else. So we've got some good sounds coming out here, which is always kind of good to see. Let's go. So onboarding was real great to me. So understood. So here we go. So we are going to tap and hold the screen, and then you can see my red laser going around the screen now. I'm just tapping and holding just to move it around. And I'm going to shoot the dude in the face. Great idle animations. All depends on the level of content and juice you want in the game. Anything can be achieved rather fast. But if quality's not there, it's still lost time. Yeah, that's right. You can get the base thing. I mean, the most important things when we look at this is like try and get that core real fun to play and lean into the core, the essence of the idea. But you know, part of all of this is to figure out what's achievable and what you can get away with in terms of what is your MVP on these things. Alright, so we're just going to go through. So kind of, this is exactly like the original game. I think it's an interesting title for me, this one, because it's not really 3D at this point. Obviously, it kind of is when we look at the model. But I'm not sure it's bringing anything new to the original game for me. Kind of fun though. So we just blast through this one. Nice little sound effects. Cool little background music. I mean, there's often a lot of talk. Do I add music or not? Okay, what's this? So we can watch a video for a sniper. That's pretty neat. So quality of the build's really great, isn't it? UI is really clean. Pretty nice. Oh, this is like the one we saw on the screenshot. Skills. And yeah, nice sound effects on this. Alright, so I don't really see any levels here. Do I have to shoot the box? Alright. Okay, pretty cool. So is it just like, I'm going to X out of this. Alright, so I just wanted to see some of the design here. Oh, okay. Very nice. So graphics are really smart. And this is levels, is it? Okay, we haven't seen this in a hot minute. Wow, alright. Blimey, 136 levels on the first one. I mean, to be fair, we did just zip through them a lot, but can we replay? And we can replay. So one of my bugbears and a lot when they do these 3-star systems is there's no way to replay the level. Because like me, I would need 3 stars for every level if I was playing this. Right. So I can replay it here. I've got no stars. Alright. What's this thing? Ooh. I can help you with my sniper rifle. Alright, cool little character. Let's use it. Oh, nice. Okay. That's cool. Well, there's my 3 stars. Did they remake the game 1-to-1? Oh, the levels or the animations. Tom, I don't know. I can't remember. The old game's real. I mean, to me, it doesn't look a million miles away. I'm pretty sure Lion published the other one, or I can't remember who published it. I'm more of an old school gamer and I do not like most of the hyper casual. What's the average life of a hyper casual in it, and is it worth to make games with a bit more meat on them? Well, we're certainly seeing more meat in terms of the hyper casual now from a few years ago. So yeah, I think pretty much all the best, biggest games now are a lot more content rich, I would say. What is up, Paul? Great to see you here. The average life of a hyper casual is very difficult to it's very difficult to put a number on that. It all depends, really. I mean, for the test part in general, the games do not have a large content, so some arcade idols can be done in 2 weeks. Yeah, Lion made the original. Yeah, thanks, Simon. Yeah, I think it was One Button Soul that made the original, but Lion published it. I know that. No, I get it, Benica. It's a great question and a really difficult one to answer. They are lightweight. They're meant to be pick up and play as a snackable thing. They're not particularly enriched experience, right? They are crappy little mobile games, but they're highly popular because they're mass market and you can just pick up and play. And they're not the typical they're not the typical games that we play that are more in depth. They're not mid-core or anything like that. They are super casual, right? Yeah. So I know that didn't really answer it. It's very difficult to answer that with any sort of definitives. Really surprises me how such an old concept can be still be a success, especially with graphic only changes. Right, exactly. So this is where we were heading towards the jam. Some of these games are just really popular because people like playing them, right? And they've just wazzed it up a little bit. I must admit, they haven't done anything particularly special on this one for me. I mean, it is 3D'd up, but kind of not really. Alright, so now we're getting some of the ricochets, which is the more fun part for me. Any ideas what CPI is this game? No, I don't know. Is the short answer. Oh, okay, I should have done that. Alright. I don't know is the short answer. We can have a look on Sensor Tower or Facebook maybe to try and figure it out. According to this shooting game, what do you think of the background? Should it be simple or more complex? I personally, I think it's a little bit too in your face. This works way better for me in terms of the background, where it's more plain and you can see the gameplay better. So for me, with this city one, it's a little bit too busy. But it's okay. That's what they've gone for, and it works. It doesn't interfere with the game clearly. In terms of the CPI, cleaner is typically better, but it all depends. They must have run their tests here and decided that it is. But you tell me. So this is us just having a conversation. I don't have all the answers, but we're just here to flesh this sort of stuff out together, right? So what do you think? Do you think it would improve it? I mean, you want it slightly elaborate, but this for me, if I'm just looking at this, I've got to think way too long to see what I'm looking at for me. So I would prefer it slightly more chilled out. Can I knock that onto him? Okay. So really simple puzzles, very nice. There are too many details in the settings. Publisher advice to make it minimalist. Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. For me and for CPI, you want to pair it right back so you can really see what's happening. I mean, if you squint your eyes, it's difficult to tell what's going on here. And I don't think the background actually adds anything to the game particularly for me. It doesn't really add a ton of value. Maybe it needs fading back a bit, says Jill. Yeah, that's where I would go. More like this that we see on the background here. So I'd kind of like it that sort of faded out and then the gameplay here popping out popping the gameplay and the characters out a bit more. All right, we do a few more levels because there's no way we're going to get to 136 or whatever. But you can see the idea of the game. Super quick levels. Be interesting to know what the monetization would be if it's an advert every level. But it's kind of fun, right? I just think for the 3D version, they've got a lot of 2D effects in it for me. What do you guys think? So we're definitely ramping up a little bit. Can we like hit the... Oh, okay. Well, epic fail. So what do you guys think of this one? I'm going to put it to the vote in just a sec. Doesn't feel 3D enough for me. In fact, time is running on, so I'm just going to call it now. So if it's your first time here, let me know. What do you think? We mark these things out of 10. What do you reckon? Out of 10, what would you give it? And there's the one we saw on the screenshot. 10 out of 10 for Kevin Skills, of course. Do anyone know showing CPI data in games? I don't think so. So it's a 6 for a deal. It's an 8 for Carhard. 8, it's still fun, says Jules. I'm gonna have a quick select. So if you haven't put in anything in the chat before, this is your chance now, right? All you gotta do is type a number, say hello, and if you're liking what we're doing here, give me a like on the video, just to let me know that you want to see more of this. And that was the game, not me. CPR viewers are probably way more minimalistic for in-game content. It's good to have more complex background to differentiate level. And, yeah, exactly. You don't understand the yellow. The yellow bullet is, I think, how many I've used, or the active bullet. I think 6 out of 10. Not different enough from the original, says Simon. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, do hit the like on the video if you want to see more of this stuff, and do let me know out of 10 what you think, and we will move on to the next one. But yeah, it just doesn't feel 3D enough to me. It feels almost like a, I don't want to say a lazy release, but I think I was expecting a little bit more, to be honest. Look at that, I am Skills. Alright, last chance and then we'll move on to the next game. Okay, that was pretty bad. Alright. Okay, still kind of fun, but in a way, a little bit lazy for me. But there we go. That was Mr. Bullet 3D apparently. Yeah, it needs to... I think the background, we all agree, can go a little bit more blurry there. Just chill it out a little bit. I feel like that's what I would start with, but maybe they tested a few things and they like it the way it is. All right, so let's go for sticky darts, like we said earlier on, if you missed the start. So with Supersonic, with U Games, definitely looking at the TikToks to see what's happening with that. And let's see if we can play this one without the advert. So, tap to start. Pretty good. Samantha. So, move to aim. So, we've got some really horrible formatting on this text here for iPad. Onboarding is pretty cool, straight in the game. And we've got the tap and hold. So, controls are good. Each dart stick equals 1 point. Alright, that's pretty good. Alright, well, he's pretty rubbish. Okay, so this is literally the game we saw on the videos. Look at that. Do I not get anything extra for that? Okay. Right, so we know that a lot of the hyper-casuals make it really easy for us to play and not lose on the first level. I think this is going a little bit too far. He hasn't hit the board yet. Oh, there we go. Famous last words. So kind of fun. Alright. Alright. Samantha looks like a bloke and is rubbish. Alright, so I'm safe to say I won that one. So it is literally the same as we saw on the videos. Silly little dance there. Fake leaderboard. Typical times for the gamified rewarded video, which is pretty standard but good to see. We will go no thanks. And we've got 192. So this is cool. So now I really like the fact that we got the UI here. I'm a big fan of not showing any of this stuff to get us straight into the game. So that's a win for me. Level progression bar at the top there, which holds a lot of information for us, telling us that we're on level 2 and we're going to get to a new location which looks like a beach in the next few levels, which is great. We've got a shockwave level up for 150, and we can upgrade some money when we're not playing the game. Our pot will increase. Let's have a look at the shop real quick. So we've got some characters here. I'm guessing that's what we're throwing, maybe. And what's this? Ooh, okay, this is pretty cool. I've not seen this. So they've done a proper tournament thing here. All right. So yeah, someone just said it seems a bit boring. Very, very slow gameplay and animations. Yeah, it doesn't look massively exciting here. So that shockwave means that we can use a power up to get everybody clear the deck, sort of thing. But very much the same as. Oh right, so they're tying those things around the sticks here. Don't like the graphics. Looks like a prototype. I agree. So the graphics here are not amazing, are they? I think when you're following the trends like this, you can get away with it a little bit more. The wobble on the things are pretty good. We saw Voodoo with that Willy game, had very similar mechanics and looked slightly more fun. But yeah, we'll have to see how this one does. I mean, it could get a ton of downloads. I suppose we'll update it for whatever reason. Let's get to the next. What do we do if we hit the Coke can? Oh, look at that. Literally nothing. Or did I get 4 points for that? Right. Yeah, so it's not really doing much for me, if I'm honest. We've got some power-ups over on the left there that we're never going to need to use at this rate. So what do we think? I mean, it looks a bit meh to me, considering some of the other games that are coming out, but it's obviously hit some numbers. Whether or not people are really into it because they're seeing it all over the shop and they want to play on the phone. I mean, I've got to be honest, I'd rather play it in real life. Looks too repetitive. Bit more movement in the aim would be better, so not as static. There's not a lot of fun, no. I mean, I think for me, if you're gonna try and do it, you should take the essence of the game and like maybe have it miles away or something. Have it a little bit more OP and a little bit more exciting or something moving. I mean, maybe it does a bit later on. I got to say the controls are real nice, guiding the thing, so they've done that really well. The silly little dance at the end is kind of meh. But yeah, we're not here to flame anybody. I'm not saying it's crap or anything like that. Kudos to the devs for getting the deal and making the numbers. It's just I'm just trying to work out what's so good about it. I really like this bonus level. This is really smart. I think this is the best bit so far. By far. This is super good idea. Oh, I missed. Alright. Oh my goodness, that's not easy. Alright, that was a bit short and sweet, but that was kind of interesting. So a little bit more broke up the boring gameplay, which is we say this week in week out, but you know, put bonus levels in to break up the monotony of the gameplays all the time. I mean, they cost 1,000, so the bonus was in conjunction with moving to the new environment. But I'm not sure. I mean, what we got? I think we should just call it. I think we've got the making of this. I mean, it's nothing pretty to let. I mean, I'm going to do it. So let's do it. What do you guys think? That was a few minutes of the stick darts. Out of 10, what do you reckon? I mean, kind of is what it is. There's a pick up and play. I think I'd like to see more. A little. The coin bonus thing was kind of fun, but this seems a bit meh to me. It doesn't seem much fun. It's a 7 for. Wow. Dipperyon. Sorry if I butchered your name there. 2 for Cargod, yeah, 4 out of 10. Yeah, it's not all that great, is it? But you know, it might do super well. So what do we know, right? But that's just from like the gamer's point of view. It's just I think there's a lot of better games out right now. Tom is going for a 2. I don't even know what I'd score it to be honest with you guys. I mean, I don't know. But it is a good example. This one might be I mean, that there, when I doubled up like that, I mean, that is like a knockout shot, right? That is pretty much God shot. That should have had that should have been a big particle effect, like woo woo boost, amazing. You know, it feels like they've gone really lazy on this format. Would be fun to throw some of it into the exactly. Or maybe there should be a bird that flies around over here or something. Am I missing something? Should we get it on this woman over here? It looks like a prop. Yeah, you know, it's got no quirk or no charm about it for me. But you know, maybe the devs are just doing it. They got the release out to get the momentum. But yeah, there's nothing really exciting about this. Even with the can, it could spray up with pop or something, right? So that's a low scoring for that. And again, if you've not voted before, when we hit the vote button, do get it in. Let us know. What do you think? You know, your opinion matters here. And yeah, if you want to see more of this sort of stuff, do hit that like button and hit subscribe and come join us on Discord as well, right? Yeah, exactly. That'd be great, a deal, right? This is what I mean. So this is why we play these games, to like go through this stuff, right? Wouldn't it be cool if that? And you've got to be really brutal when you're building your own games. You know, it's such a struggle to get some of the coding, getting it working without, you know, putting all the effort to getting the core in there. But you don't forget about this fun, and this is why it's really good just to play through some. It's just like, well, you need to do this because you've forgotten to make your game fun. So I've forgotten what this is. Base something. I've totally forgotten. Sorry, guys. Base defense. Okay. So Arcade Idol. We'll give this a good old run here. Drag to move, so nice onboarding. All of the Arcade Idol have virtual joysticks. Controls feel nice. We've got a ton of zombie baddies in the red there trying to attack our building. Don't actually know what we got to do. Gem, mine, what's this? Don't actually know what we got to do here. Oh, what happened there? Ammo. Oh, okay, so fill up the guns with ammo, I'm guessing. Can I control? Oh, look at that, I can control it. Oh, that's very cool. Oh, look at the environment behind it. Okay. Oh, and all the money goes outside the fence. Very smart. I like it already. Alright, so let's see if I can kill some of these dudes. The gun lasts quite a while. I'll get another fill up here. And then we're going to go and grab that money. Pretty nice. The scale of this is really nice. It looks kind of small, but it's really quite good. So let's go and YOLO it outside. So there doesn't seem to be too many. How do I get out? Does it automatically open? Nice, okay. Oh, I've got a handgun as well. Oh, I'm maxed out on that. Now, do I have any health there? I did. I had a health bar that came up. And that regenerates when I come back inside. Very cool. Does something happen if you don't kill any? I'm presuming they will break down the wall, but I don't know. Like I said, I've never played these before. Really impressed with the way they've got all the landscape out there. Oh, look at that. There's a nice little parachute drop there for some stuffs. And I've got 100 coins. So what can I upgrade here? 128 to upgrade to another gun. Greetings from Elictors. What is up there? Big fans. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Great to see you on the stream here. About time we should play one of your games, right? Very cool. Great to see you. So what's happening over here? Are they beating someone up or something? So I've got 100 here. What's this? Ah, okay. Alright. So a very nice take on the Arcade Idol here. Looks like they've taken a lot of time to build this one out. I think the wall is not affected. It only helps you to shoot them and then go and collect the money. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I don't know though. Like I said, I've never played this before. Alright, so upgrades here. So we got enough that we can carry. moving speed is always the preferable one at the start because you're super nerfed with the speed of the character at the beginning. And I think we're safe to say that we can go out here and get the money. It's a little bit tricky to let go of this gun. I think you got to go to the center there. And I definitely need more capacity. It's kind of fun though, I got to admit. So yeah, I'm a big fan of these arcade art. This feels a little bit fiddly to play for me. I don't know what it'd be like on a phone. Obviously, I'm on an iPad here. And I don't know, it's because I've been playing a lot. Although I think it should be a tutorial so the person knows that you need to collect the ammo to shoot through the minigun. At first I was trying to figure it out. Yeah, I agree that I was a little bit stuck, wasn't I, at the start? I think sometimes we've got to remember that it's always good to not treat our players as complete idiots, right? But there's a fine line between hand holding and being confused. I think that's it. It's a delicate one to mix, isn't it? But yeah, you're right. I think it wouldn't have gone amiss to sort of walk us through that. And we don't always have to have stuff written on the screen or something like that. We could have just had one dude run away at the start, right? Have another blue dude as we started, and he just you see him shooting the gun, and then he runs away and goes, "I'm out of here. You take over." And then immediately you know that you got to go and shoot something with this gun, right? And that is a form of onboarding without it being messy or like click here and all that kind of stuff. So it's this sort of thing we need to think about in terms of how we can do the onboarding and make the player feel like they're learning and we're not holding their hand completely. Right. There was a loot box that dropped a bit far away. Yeah, the thing on the parachute. You didn't see, but after it drops, probably some smoke to the user. Yeah, I did see it. I did see it, and I pointed it out. It seemed a long way away, though. So, activate the landmark for 40 gems. We've got no gems yet. So what's down this bottom here? So just keeping an eye on the time because we're trying to keep this tight. But these arcade idle ones are very difficult to... It doesn't look like this is unlocked yet. This is what I want, a worker. Let's go. Oh, not enough. Wait, what? 250. God damn it. So yeah, we're going to keep this tight on the hour. But we'll be doing some different themed months inside the academy. So like I said, if you're looking for a publisher and you want some training, you want to get some more in-depth stuff here, we've got all the new stuff coming up inside Homa Academy. So go on over, certainly join us over on the Discord to be informed every time that we go live with new stuff. And of course, all some new training and all great stuff inside the academy as well for you. And we'll help you try and make a hit game. But yeah, this is what is being released right now from some of the biggest publishers on the planet. This is really smart. It reminds me of a ketchup game. What are your publishing KPIs? I do not have the... It depends in terms of the type of game. It really depends. So for these type of games, we're looking at playtime and other KPIs rather than just CPI and IPM and stuff like that. So it really depends. But the best way of moving forward is just, upload on the self-service dashboard, run a test with us. We'll pay for the advertising for you. And if we get some interesting numbers, then we will talk further and we will help you every step of the process to have all the teams and everything here, all the people at Homa to be in your corner to create the best game possible. Help with coding, help with CPI videos, help with everything, right? All right, we've got to do something. It's getting real close on the time here, and I really want to run up here and see what we can do. So this dude's saying help. Unlock new area for... I think what is confusing is that it goes purple. It doesn't do anything. Doesn't really work for me, that. And why can't I pick that up? Because it's maxed out. Get the worker. Well, I tried to get the worker. Oh yeah, I did. I didn't have enough when I tried it last time. Oh, there we go. Oops. Yeah, so this was the bottleneck here, right? And I would get another one free. But yeah, this is the trouble with the arcade idols on these streams, because they're so grindy at the start. We're gonna have duels on 1 month where we're gonna go through a lot of these and play through them. Anyone who's checked out Aquarium Land on iOS right now, it's crushing it. A really successful game for us. So we have probably the world's expert in Arcade Idol on the team and willing to come on and share some knowledge with us. So I'm really looking forward to that. So stay tuned here. Make sure you hit that subscribe to the channel, because I'll be talking about it on here. And obviously with that sort of insider stuff, that will be inside Homa Labs specifically for our members of Home Academy. So be sure to go over there and get yourself signed up. But yeah, we're crushing it on in-app purchases on these. So moving away from just the ad revenue a little bit. All right, let's do it. We're going to have to do it because I don't want to go on too much. What do we think of this one? I think this is pretty awesome, personally. Okay, Tom, is that it? It's just not activating it because of there's no interwebs. All right, makes sense. Let me run up here, though. So let me know the score on the doors there, and then we'll start to wrap up today. Yeah, that's I don't know how to activate this mine thing. This is the weapon shop. I never even went here. Okay. 9, great theme, says Jules. Yeah, I agree. 10 out of 10 for Tom, yeah. Oh, wait, what? When did this start working? Okay. So yeah, a lot of work in here, as was mentioned before. Nice take on arcade genre. Yeah, so I really like this one. Do you know what? For the most part, this one really feels alive to me, and I haven't really felt like I've been bored at all. And it feels really juicy. It looks like there's tons of money out here, and the worker has really elevated it here to a next level. Still missing a few things I feel which would round up to this. What's it missing then, Aries? What do you reckon? Let's have a look. Let's have a quick think about that. So I think someone said about the smoke that came down from the loot box that dropped. I think that would have been a great little touch, that's smoking to give you something to go for. What's this arrow pointing? Is that pointing at the money or something? What happens if you die outside? Let's find out. Let's find out. Good idea, Tom. And then we'll start to wrap it up today. So there we go. I lost all my money, and I'm back at the base, and I've lost the money. So that wasn't too brutal at all. I just want to keep playing these games. It's impossible to do it. You've got 27, but we're not going to do that today. So there you go. Pretty nice indeed, I'd say. So, Mr. Bullet 3D from One Button SARL, the makers of the original game, the 2D version published by Lion, I think we established. I'm pretty sure that is correct. Thanks, Simon. Honestly, didn't feel 3D, and then we had a bit of a conversation about the background in that game. Looked a little bit busy. I wasn't blown away by that, if I'm perfectly honest, but kudos to the devs. There looks like a ton of content in there. 136 levels for that first world, and then we had that Chinese Asian inspired world for the second one. So pretty cool. The puzzle's real fun, nice and simple, super snackable, of course, so not bad. Sticky darts from Supersonic. Honestly, I'm going to throw it out there. I can't see that one doing particularly well unless it has some significant changes. I think it's jumping on that TikTok theme semi-trend right now, and I think it's a good idea. but I don't think they brought anything new to the table there. It just didn't seem, wasn't fun. And when we're thinking about our games, like, they need to be fun. They need to create some sort of emotion. That was just like, But that was just my personal taste, of course. No disrespect to the devs. I'm sure you got lots planned. So can't wait to see where that one goes. And finally, I got to be honest, these ones are more of my favourites because they're way more gamey. Who was it that said in the chat? I forget your name. I'm sorry. I can find it here. Who said they're not much of a gamer? I forget. It was Banneker. Banneker said he's not much keen on the hyper casual, more of a probably a more of a mid core sort of game. Games that he enjoys, and the Arcade Idol for me are definitely more casual mid, and that's where I think my default passion lies. But yeah, the Arcade Idols, we're seeing so many different takes on the theme. I thought the camping one last week was pretty fun, but this one for me, I think that one's got some legs. We saw the one from, I think it was Lion as well, where they did, was it Mr. Captain or something? Oh my god, I'm gonna have a look real quick while we're doing it. It was the General or something. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. But there's some good themes here, and I really enjoyed that one. We played that a long time ago. I'm just going to pull it up real quick while we're talking, just before we go and wrap up today. I'm going to look for Lion. I can't remember the name of it. It's driving me mad. Otherwise, I wouldn't normally look, but I've got to look. So there's Mr. Bullet. What was it called? Army Commander. So we saw Army Commander, which was another shooting type one from Lion that was pretty good and way more arcadey than idly, if that makes sense. So let me know in that chat real quick. Do you like the Arcade Idol ones? Is it something you'd rather? Would you like some dedicated streams where we go through that and we play one out a little bit more and see all the stuff? Do let me know. And of course, if you're liking this sort of stuff, join us every week here on YouTube, and we'll go through all the new games to hit the store and play some more games with you. Links are in the description, as is the link to the Discord. So come and join us over on the Discord. Stay up in the know. I'll be sharing news, industry news in there, answering any questions you may have, as well as posting all new games that come out each week. How can I reach Homa to talk about a partnership? You can just go over to our website, hit the contact button over there, or hit me up over on Discord and we can have a chat. But yeah, the best way to start is just to open, go and register for your account, and submit a game, and we'll start from there. Make sense? So I think a few things are not clarified, e.g. it's for a user to understand by looking around, some indication on certain things about things happening, loot boxes. I think there's a fine line between the user. So when we're playing games, it's like a series of choices, right? And there's always a little bit of smugness, and we feel empowered and clever when we figure something out for ourselves. Typically for hyper casual, we want to remove most of that and make it super obvious that's what you got to do. But I think there are a few, certainly for key moments like the start of the onboarding where we didn't really know what to do. I think that would be a moment where we could hold their hand a little bit more to guide them through to get them moving. In terms of the loot box thing, yes, that fell down, but it would have been nice to reinforce that from the smoking thing to remind us that it was still there. Does that make sense? So it's a fine balance. I would have liked to see one of the blue dudes shooting the gun, killing the zombies, and then running off saying it's now down to you. Because immediately that shows us that we can fire the gun. The blue guy was shooting them and he runs off, which means we should run to the gun and start shooting. And then, we could have had him where he picked up the bullets, then started shooting and then ran off. And then we've got the whole core loop all laid out to us without saying a word to us, but we can figure out from there rather than just being dumped in with nothing. Hope that makes sense. Alrighty, that's going to go and wrap it up for me today. Like I said, if you like this sort of thing, do let me know by clicking on that like button. That basically tells me you're liking what we're doing here. Join me next week where we'll be doing much more of the same. And of course, join us over on the Discord channel to chat to us further. Any questions you can reach out to me personally on there or post them up in one of the channels we've got. It'd be great to see you over there. Hope it keeps cool where you are. It was very, very hot here today, so I'm not disappointed that we are drawing to an end, but there's 30 seconds left. Thank you so much for joining with me. I really appreciate you guys interacting with me in the chat. We're just here to chat about the games or what's coming out and how we can do better. And if you've got any suggestions about the format or anything like that, like I said, go and join me over on the Discord. Link is in the description. As I said, so if you want to come and publish with us, we'd love to see you. Come and join us over on homagames.com. But with all that said and done, it's gonna do it for me. See you later, guys. Take care. See you next week.